Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As y'all can see by the title of today's video, we're here to talk about which badge category in NBA 2K20 has the most or least impactful Hall of Fame badges in the game. So I hope y'all enjoy. If you do, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. Let's try this video 1,000 likes in the first 24 hours. We're going to be ranking these in order of least impactful to most impactful. We're going to get straight into that, but before we get started, I want you guys to leave your feedback. What is your number one most impactful badge? Start from the top and then go to number 2 most impactful, number 3, and number 4 to have a Hall of Fame badge in that category. So my example, a Playlock has Hall of Fame playmaking and defense. Is that more valuable than being a slash and sharp where you get Hall of Fame shooting and finishing? I just want you guys to leave your feedback on that. Let me know which category you think is the most impactful to have a Hall of Fame badge in. So with all that said, we're gonna go ahead and get through with my list. So at number 4, like I said, we're gonna start from 4, go all the way to 1. At number 4, I have finishing. We're gonna give a couple reasons. We're gonna just do this on the fly. This is all gonna be in one take, I would hope. At least we can hope. But like I said, we're gonna do this all in one take. So pretty much as far as the finishing goes, I just feel like the only valuable badges to have on Hall of Fame are contact finisher, then you have fancy footwork, and then you have slithery finisher as well. Anything from there, just as far as the badges go, I feel like you can easily do without. And then to just drop them to gold, I feel like isn't the biggest deal either. You guys have seen Playlocks or Pure Locks or whatever it may be, have gold finishing badges and be able to get contact dunks, make really contested layups. I feel like finishing just in general, it gets very devalued when it comes to, like, you know, how many badges are really good. And then when you really talk about whether you need them on Hall of Fame or not, I feel like that's where it gets even more drastic. Now, granted, if you are a slasher, obviously you want to have these badges on Hall of Fame. But after that, it gets very cloudy. I feel like things like Acrobat become something that is like a next tier level, or Relentless Finisher, maybe Giant Slayer. Obviously, you want to have a little bit of consistent finisher, and maybe Pro Touch or Lob City finisher between which your play style is, but you get the deal. These are the main 3. After that, it's pretty useless to have anything higher than these 3 on Hall of Fame. So that is why I have the finishing at number 4, the least valuable Hall of Fame badges in my opinion. So to get to number 3 and 2, I'm gonna talk about it like this. This is gonna be really quick, actually, now that I think about it. So pretty much, shooting and playmaking are equally 2 and 3 in my opinion. It just depends on your play style. So for instance, what I mean by that, obviously you don't need Hall of Fame shooting badges to be able to ISO. Clearly, you know, people with playlocks or pure playmakers or anything like that, I would almost say to have a build that doesn't have Hall of Fame shooting benefits you in the ISO. But nonetheless, we're here to talk about this. So what I do think Hall of Fame shooting is really valuable for is things like pick and roll. So we're talking range extender, obviously you have quick draw, and then hot zone hunter. Those are major key when it comes to the pick and roll game. Even things like Deadeye, where you're probably gonna be shooting semi-contested shots, even though it's not the most needed thing, but you get the deal. These 3 badges to have on Hall of Fame are massive when it comes to the pick and roll game. However, you could easily get away with having these things on gold if you're coming out here in ISO wing. And that's where we talk about the whole problem with when it comes to the build system, how Playlocks can get gold range extender and gold hot zone hunter and gold quick draw. It doesn't make any sense, bro. And if I had to put a number on it, like I was saying, finishing is number 4. I'm gonna say shooting is number 3 because you don't exactly need the shooting badges to be on Hall of Fame to function in this game super well. But like I said, keep in mind everything that I said earlier in the video, where pretty much I'm saying obviously these 3 badges being on Hall of Fame is super important. Anything past that, it's really nice to have the badges, but I don't think anybody's fiending over Hall of Fame clutch shooter and corner specialist and catch and shoot, or even Hall of Fame difficult shots. Obviously nobody cares about, you know, badges like flexible release or ice and veins, pick and popper, slippery, steady, tireless. You know, it's a nice badge, but you don't need it on Hall of Fame. Same with volume shooter. It's just, I feel like the Hall of Fame level of shooting gets very devalued as long as you don't run pick and roll with an inside big. So with all that said, finishing was number 4, shooting is number 3, and now we get to playmaking, which is number 2 as far as the most valuable. So this is the second most valuable in my opinion. Obviously that leaves defense, but we'll talk about that in a second. So when I look at this in a glance, right, and I talk about it as far as like shooting and playmaking are pretty close, when I look at it, honestly it's not, because Hall of Fame dimer, massive. Me shooting with gold dimer is nowhere near shooting with Hall of Fame dimer. Now you could say, oh, you need Hall of Fame dimer to shoot, you must suck. Well, I'm also on a build that has like 50 3-pointer and, you know, possibly 10 shooting badges at the best. Some people need this Hall of Fame dimer to be able to shoot with their pure lock in the corner too. And this badge is a major, ridiculously, you know, game changer when it comes to like the builds that have low 3-pointer. So then a lot of people sleep on flashy passer. I'm not gonna lie, as far as a slasher goes, like people sleep on this badge, and I can already hear the comments uproaring about it right now. But if you've seen it firsthand, you guys know, if you watch the channel super consistently, you've seen my games of dope where I'm playing with a play lock and I'm on a slasher, right? And all it takes is literally 2 dunks for me to get takeover, 3 to get team takeover with Hall of Fame flashy passive. Now, when you drop down to gold, sometimes it takes 3 dunks to even get takeover, especially if you don't have takeover booster, but that's a topic for another day. Anyway, my whole point is the level up from gold to Hall of Fame flashy is pretty massive. And then you talk about handles for days or quick first step. I feel like those are some pretty big steps up as well. Gold floor general to Hall of Fame floor general is a massive difference, considering it lets you see the percentages. Now, is that important? Not really, especially if you have like a squad, but if you do play with randoms, that is kind of nice to know how good their build is at shooting. But nonetheless, after that, there isn't much value when it comes to, you know, the Hall of Fame versus gold difference. Space Creator, yeah, it's nice. Same with like Bailout. I mean, it's a little bit more reliable, but is the upgrade from gold to Hall of Fame that much more important? I don't really think so. So, with all that said, like I said, we got number 4, 3, 2, and 1. Kind of funny how it's all in the same order, right? But I'm sure a lot of you guys could have imagined that I'm putting defense number 1. I ran a poll on this, and pretty much it was saying that finishing, a lot of people agree this is the least valuable one. 2% of the people who answered this poll out of like 1,000 people chose defense. 2%. And that really does speak to how overpowered Hall of Fame defensive badges are in this game. So we can talk about anything. Brick wall, massive to have on Hall of Fame. Chase down artist, a lot of people feel like some of these badges on bronze service, but me personally, I feel like Hall of Fame chase down is massively better. Same with clamps, way better as far as Hall of Fame. I really should have made these badges Hall of Fame capability to put them to, because I was definitely going to talk about this for the most part. But then pogo stick, the speed on it, definitely better. I'm not going to lie, this is one of the badges you can get away with on silver or gold, possibly. Intimidator is the massively important one to have on Hall of Fame. And then, for instance, you even have Rim Protector, where the higher the level, your takeover meter goes up. This is super important as well. It's just ridiculous, bro. Or even Pick Dodger, super important. Now, a lot of this could just come with the defensive ratings as you talk about them. Maybe locks are just that much better lateral quickness wise, and that's why they get around picks better. Maybe having Hall of Fame Pick Dodger actually is that important, to where getting around it is way more important than just, you know, to have gold Pick Dodger. But anyway, my whole point though is that defensive badges are massively important in this game, and I think, you know, the value of the Hall of Fame defensive badges comes with just the value of defensive badges in general. So like I said, to have pogo stick is really nice. Box, really nice. Like, there's so many badges in this defensive category that are nice or important to have. You could even say, you know, you could say like bronze interceptor, bronze pickpocket would even be nice. Even tireless defender is a nice addition. I'm just gonna go ahead and point out the ones that aren't worth anything. Trapper, but even that has some function to it as well. Lightning reflexes is pretty useless in my opinion. Heart crusher, and then maybe like off-ball pest depending on who you are. But long story short is, there's really only 3 defensive badges in this entire game that are not worth using, and that's why I feel like the value of the Hall of Fame badges gets increased in comparison to all these other badges. So with all that said, that's pretty much it for the video. I know this is a little short one. I hope y'all enjoyed the vid. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. Let's try this video to 1,000 likes in the first 24 hours like I was saying in the intro. And like I said, leave your feedback. Let me know what you guys think as far as the categories go, and then tell me some specifics too. Like if you think there's more to finishing than just fancy footwork, contact, and slithery. Let me know if you think there's, you know, additional badges like acrobat that are super important to have, or if you think Hall of Fame drop stepper is that much more dominant than gold. I mean, honestly, I feel like anybody with gold drop stepper has no business in doing drop steps anyway, as far as their build is made. And that's why this gets a little bit more complicated and cloudy, is because a lot of the times it depends on the attributes as far as what badges you get. Like obviously having fancy footwork isn't all that important if your driving layup is below 70, because then you're not going to have long athlete. Without long athlete, it makes no sense to even be doing hop dunks in the first place, and it's just a struggle. Or for instance, contact finisher. Obviously to have Hall of Fame finishing, you're going to have very good driving dunk. But if you even have, you know, 85 driving dunk with a pure playmaker, or even 88 with the two-way slashing playmaker, you can still have gold contact finisher, and I feel like you can get away with stuff like that. So anyway, let me not ramble on too much. Like I said, I hope y'all enjoyed the vid. Leave some feedback, drop a like, all that good stuff. And if you made it to the very end of the video, put badge in the comments to show your support that you made it all the way through to the very end of this one. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed. None of that, take it easy, man. Peace.